so much for
Hello.
putting up with all that like technical difficulties. I know somebody in here said y'all are used to the technical difficulties. It's La Familia, and that made me feel
We're used to
comfortable.
it. We are used to it.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much. I don't think you really need too much of an introduction. I mean, everybody out here looks like they came from your community, which is such a beautiful thing
They're
to do.
showing up.
But please do give yourself an introduction.
Hi, everybody. What's up? First off, thank you so much for everybody that stopped by from my community. Thank you so much. Makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. But my name is Sind3lla. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch, content creator for Umbra Collective, which is an esports lifestyle organization. I got a bunch of titles and roles to my name, but ultimately mother of two, student, living in Norway, originally from California.
Wow. And we're going to get into all that because I'm so genuinely curious as to a lot of things. Like, I see some of the stats that you have on your page and all the things that you do. It's really, really amazing. But before that, to everybody in the chat, feel free to drop questions. If I don't get to you right away, it's just because I'm giving my attention to our guest. I don't want to miss anything she says. So if I don't get to it, feel free to repeat it, type it in again when we are paying attention to chat. We do want to hear your questions. You are here to learn about Sind3lla ultimately, so please do drop those. Just if I don't get to them right away, please don't get offended or anything. I'm just giving my attention to the guest. So let's start off with your first stream was April 13th, 2021, which is amazing because you haven't even hit 1 year and you are already at like 1,700 followers, which is so crazy. Like, could you take us back to like your stream journey? Like what prompted you to start streaming? Were you doing any type of content creation before this?
Not for myself. Nothing that was game related. I did mostly like social media stuff for Ballet Folklorico group here in Norway. Website design for like my father-in-law, but nothing like this. And it just sort of came out of the blue. It all started with like my studies. I studied media communications. And I thought that I wanted to work within social media for, I don't know, like a PR company or something. But the topics and the classes sort of started touching on gaming and how gaming is like becoming more and more important within society. And I love gaming. I just never connected the two, education and gaming. And it just sort of blossomed from there.
And so were you always a gamer? Like, did you play games like growing up and stuff?
Not even. Like I was a surfer, wakeboarder, swimmer, competitive swimmer. I was outdoors all the times. It's actually Swish and Flick in the chat that got me to game. That's my husband.
Hey.
I used to play World of Warcraft, and I was just like, what is this? Who are these people that you're playing with? Like, these aren't your friends. Like, I was so ignorant to it all. And I figured, like, if you can't beat them, join them. So I started playing World of Warcraft with him. And then, like, a few months after, we were, like, in a rated battleground, like, group. We were active in our guild. We were competing. Well, not competing, but, like, climbing the ranks within the game. And it was... Yeah, but not like esports competitive, but
still.
So it's all because of him. I mean, I played like Mario with my father, but I didn't really grow up having consoles or Game Boys or anything.
And
so I'm fairly new.
So you picked up World of Warcraft like right away because that's like the people that love World of Warcraft, they love World of Warcraft. Like, it's a lot of grinding, I feel like to get through levels and a lot of so like you just picked it up, or like were you hesitant at first?
So much. I was hesitant at first, but we happened to find a guild that was very open, very welcoming. They had a lot of like women within the guild as well, so that was very comforting as well. It wasn't toxic. Of course, there's toxicity in games everywhere, but the guild itself was like a little family, so it was very nice. But yeah, so much grinding.
Oh my God.
So much grinding.
And first off, big shout out to the partners out there who support their partners and what they do. It's y'all need all the flowers while y'all can get them, for real. Like, it's such a difference having somebody who like is in your corner and appreciates the things that you're doing and does them with you. I saw that you guys did recently like a co-stream, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and
we did.
It's such a cool feeling when you have somebody there that also enjoys what you're doing. It makes such a difference. Like, I always got to give the props to the partners.
No, he deserves all the hype. He deserves all the hype.
And so we have a question right off the bat from Oscar. How do you feel when someone criticizes your work? How do you think your family and your friends will describe you? So that's like a two-part question right there.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I am proud of what I have accomplished. It You measure yourself, or you people compare themselves to others inevitably. Like it's you can't help it. But ultimately, I am very proud of what I've accomplished with my circumstances, being a mother, being a full-time student, you know, kids and everything. So when I see when I see my growth, I'm proud, and I stand by what I've done and what my mission, sort of say, is for myself.
Mhm.
So when someone criticizes what I've done, I sort of try to brush it off. Does it hurt? I mean, it bugs me that they don't see ultimately who I
Mhm.
am, and then that in itself like makes me realize, what can I do for others to like truly see what it is that I'm trying to do here.
Mhm.
But I usually just brush it off. I mean, if you see my streams, I have like a little overlay that says boys tears for, all the misogynistic little boys out there crying, saying that I have it easy because I'm a woman. Um, what was the second part to the question?
How would
How do
your
you think your
friends and
family and
family
friends will
describe
describe
you?
you?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I know that like my husband is my biggest cheerleader. The rest of my family, I don't think they really understand so much about streaming and gaming. It's not really within the family.
Mhm.
But I mean, look at my fucking community up in this chat right
It's
now.
fire.
They're my fucking
La
they
familia.
keep me going.
Hey.
That's what keeps me going.
That shit is amazing. And like, so less than a year, and you've already gotten to like I think a very, very impressive place. What do you think was it that worked for you? Like, how did you build this community? I imagine you also have a Discord. Like, how did you go about
Mhm.
in the initial stages, like finding those people that you could relate to, people that are part of your community now? Like, what was that like? Because it looks like you've reached a very impressive number, like before even a year. And I started in
Mhm.
last April, and so I'm nowhere near close to you. I look at you and I'm like, God damn, that's so amazing. That's
Oh,
impressive as
thanks.
hell. And so, like, what do you think you've done that's worked for you?
Thank you. Um, I started knowing nobody. Like I went into this blind. I went into my first stream not knowing what the hell a raid was. I didn't know what the hell was happening. I didn't know what Nightbot was or anything. But I think what helped was obviously TikTok, posting on social media and whatnot. But being present, I think that is what has helped me the most, being present. I'm in my Discords almost every single night. I try to rotate throughout the community, showing up to their streams, supporting them, talking to them, behind the scenes with messages, getting to know them. Some of the people in this chat I know in real life, and they became in real life friends because of streaming. Uh, but like when I first started, I thought that like my community was going to be Latinos, like a whole bunch of like Latinos within gaming. I didn't even think of content creation in general. I just thought gaming.
Mhm.
But it turned out to be mostly Scandinavian because of my location.
Mhm.
And that's took me by surprise. But I don't care. Like, I don't care. I find it amazing that the community that we have is created out of so many people, so many social groups and identities. We have the Latinos, we have the Norwegians, we have Danish, we have Swedish, we have Mexicans fall with under Latinos. We have gay, lesbian, trans, just so many social groups within the community. And it's mostly just, I guess, networking, being present,
Mhm.
making personal connections.
Hmm. And so, how do you balance? Because you have to remain consistent. Like, that's inevitable. You have to be consistent. If you stop doing it for a while, it definitely shows that you don't do it for a while. But
Yeah.
at the same time, if you have a strong enough community, if you do say, I need to take a break, I need like a mental health break, they'll be there for you when you come back. So how do you find that balance between remaining consistent and putting out content, but also making sure that like you're mentally good, you're not
Mhm.
overworking yourself?
Transparency, I think. Have I taken a break from overworking? No. I've taken a break from mental health, definitely.
Mhm.
Um, but I think just being transparent, I've been transparent with my community through many, many things within my life. They knew about like um, deaths within my family and stood by me. The messages, just the outpour of love. Um, when I'm sick or when my family's sick, when my kids are sick, like they all know that. Am I oversharing? To some streamers, maybe. Some people like to keep their personal lives very, very separate from their streaming. But I mean, I named it La Familia for a reason because I wanted to create that community where we can be open about things. And I've had people open up to me and tell me like, oh, hey, this is my situation right now. I just thought you wanted to know. And it means so much that there's that level of trust where they feel confident enough and safe enough to tell me and my husband this when we're on Discord or whatnot. But as to how I balance it, it takes its toll. I'll admit that. I think now that my husband started streaming, he understands a little bit more. So there's not that, I guess, not misunderstood. I guess he didn't know. He didn't know what it takes to be like a content creator with posting and reaching out and video editing and picture editing and all of this stuff. And I think now he has a little bit of a better idea, and we're able to help each other a little bit more balance that time. But before it did kind of take a toll on the family. Yeah. Even to the point where like my kid was like put his face in between my phone and me to try to get my attention. I was like, okay, we need to work some things out time frame wise.
Yeah, no, it's because it's a lot. Some people might think that like, you just turn the camera on, you're streaming for however long you're streaming, and then once you turn it off, that's the end of it. But like, if you really want to be serious about it, it involves, going back, finding clips. You could do a stream for 3-4 hours long and then have to find like a 30-second bit in there, and then from that just edit it down to like maybe 15 seconds because of the way people's attention span works on social media. And it's a lot. And the networking of it, it's like people forget that this is a social media platform, right? So like you got to be social on it. You got to talk to other streamers. You got to what I found when I first started is that I would be in a lot of different people's streams, and I would try and watch like as many as I could throughout the day. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And at the same time, like I wasn't like genuinely talking to anyone. Like I was just like, hey, how's it going? How's your stream? Okay, cool. All right, on to the next one. Hey, how's it going? How's your stream? And then just doing that. There was no like genuine conversation. Recently, I've started being like, okay, go by other like less people's streams, but have like more full long conversations with them. Like maybe if it's just like 4 people a day, like actually talk to them and like see how they're doing, like see how everything's been. How many like streams do you think you like go through a day? Like what keeps you in somebody's stream longer? Like what makes like a good streamer for you?
I don't even want to know how many streams I go in a day.
It's a lot.
I haven't even counted. I'd say that I'm a professional lurker. Because I do try to rotate throughout the day.
I see switching
even if my phone is down.
30, 50.
Not even. Calm down. Excuse me. But it's a lot. What I stay in the stream because of the person. I stop by streams because of the person. It's not the game. I never search for a game and see who's streaming that. I see who in my community is streaming. And I go by that. And even if I can't chat or whatever because real life, school, husband, kids, laundry, chores, driving, I'll try to throw a lurk out. So number, it's gonna be high. It's gonna be high. But no, the interaction that you can have with someone is what keeps me in. If you see that they are genuinely trying to have a conversation and keep chat interested, then that's what keeps me hooked. But if they're just sitting there playing games and waiting for a chat to answer or for a chat to start a conversation, that usually you very easily lose interest, right? But when you build a community, you have more to talk about rather than just the game. So that's why I really like to focus on members of the community, because usually most of the time we're not even talking about the game.
It's just like personal inside jokes between the community. That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
And I have somebody here who said, Star Guardian Daddy, did you name drop me yet? I mean, hi, hello.
Hell up, Star.
See, that's the type of stuff that I love. When like people come in here, they feel like a personal connection to the streamer that they watch. And it's something that I would have never, ever like been able to describe like maybe 10 years ago before I knew about streaming. Like I never even would have thought about like, oh, you could like do your own show. You could just broadcast yourself out there. And it's such a cool new thing. My next question, we had a question from Oscar that I did want to ask. Best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Streaming wise, I guess, content creation wise.
Yeah, or it can be more general in life.
Turn your viewer count off.
Yeah, that's a good one. Why would you say that's like a good piece of advice?
I mean, within for all the streamers that are in the chat, we know this. Like, it shouldn't matter if you have one person or 100 people. You should be able to put the same amount of effort and passion into what you're doing, because a lot of people focus that streaming is just it. Like you hit start, you stream, and then you turn it off. But it's not. We're content creators. We need to be able to use that ultimately for Hover, for TikTok, for YouTube, for whatever other platform that you utilize. But at the same time, you want to be able to showcase that passion for anybody that may stop by without saying hi. They want to be able to see that they want to see that energy. They want to see that passion. They want to see the fun that you're having, that you can talk about the game, so that is very important, to turn your viewer count off. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just do you in the game, and chat will come. Chat will provide you with that fuel to keep going and to start conversations.
Yeah, that's a like invaluable piece of information right there. Like, because I fall into it so many times myself, where like I check the numbers after the stream. I'm like, stream summary, stream analytics, like see how this is and compare this, and like I tell myself like, don't do it. It doesn't matter. Like,
after stream is fine, but not during.
Not during it. Yeah, sometimes like I still fall for it. I'm like, oh, let me check what's in there, and like. It's like a boost of dopamine. You're just like, oh wow, that's a high number, like, and you feel good. And then, but if you see like a number you don't want to see, is real quick to just feel disappointment. And have you ever felt disappointed throughout your stream journey? Like, have you ever been like, oh yeah, maybe this isn't for me, or what's gotten you out of those like funks?
So recently I was talking with Star here. Just like we sort of felt. Star is like my little brother on Twitch. That's what I call him. He's my little brother on Twitch. There, I name dropped you. And we were talking that we felt this sort of like change in energy in the chat, and it can get you down, seeing your stats go down after stream, seeing your monthly summary go down. But you have to realize that society is changing. Things, the regulations are easing up. People are going back to work. They're going back to the office. They're not at home office where they can easily throw a lurk up or like chat or something. So you need to realize that it's not all on you. The rest of the world is moving, and it doesn't necessarily reflect your work. But it does get to you. It does get to you to see those numbers.
Yes, it does.
So yeah,
and you gotta remember
that I have felt it.
Yeah, people have like their own lives as well. Like, the time that's convenient for you to stream might not exactly be the convenient time for somebody to watch. So like, somebody might have something with their family, or they might have an appointment or something, and it varies from week to week. So, 1 week you might have just the perfect timing, right? You stream at a time where as many of your people in your community could come out and watch you. And then the following week, they all have separate things to do because people have their own things in their own lives and they're not there. And it's not because, they dislike you or anything, or they don't want to watch your content. They just have their own lives. And I think that's super important.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I understand that. I appreciate every lurk. And I understand that people can't make it. And I think it's funny sometimes that people will message me like, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't make the stream. Like, don't even apologize. Like, there's no need to apologize to me that you couldn't make the stream. Like, I appreciate it. But live your life, dude. Live your life. I understand it completely.
For real. And like, I feel like we transitioned from like a time where like, TV shows were broadcast and you had to watch them at the specific time that they were out, or it was extremely hard to find them if you didn't have like DVR or something. And we switched over to streaming, where it's like you could watch this at any time that you want and you could binge it for as long as you want. And now Twitch is back on
Yeah.
like the, you should probably watch it at the time that the streamer's on. I get a few VOD watches, like nothing too crazy. I think the majority of the people that watch, they want to watch it because, they could chat, they could be interactive, they like have a part in it. It's like they're like kind of part of the show. Whereas then when you watch the VOD, it's like, all right, you're just recatching what they did, but I don't get that
Yeah,
many.
you miss out on that interaction.
Yeah. So it's like going back from like, we were so used to like streaming and like you could watch anything on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. So like now you got to be like a specific time and to catch your streamer.
Exactly. Because like I said, you miss out on that interaction. That's what you want. That's what you go for ultimately.
That's what you
want.
want.
I hope so.
Yeah, straight up. We have a great question from Jeremish. How much do you think your background in social media influenced your success?
I'm not gonna say that was the main reason, but it definitely did help to know how to to have the apps already, to know what apps I like to work with personally. I edit a lot of my videos on my phone because I'm very busy. If my husband goes into the store, I'll quickly edit something on my phone. Or if I'm downstairs cooking, I'll edit on my phone. So like knowing what worked for me already helped. I didn't have to do all that research as to what should I use to edit videos on my computer, because I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it on my phone. Knowing how algorithms work on like TikTok, on Instagram, YouTube, having a brief idea of how that worked helped me a lot as well. Ratio formats for videos, that saved me time. Did it lead to success? I don't think so. I think it just saved me time.
Yeah. Which is super important. It's so important when you have so
Yeah.
many other things in your life as well. Jeremish asks, what app do you use to edit the videos on your phone?
It's one called Splice. You can't find it on the PC, so it's just a phone app, but it's called Splice. And I just really like how you can cut the videos, add audio, zoom in, zoom out, add effects to it and everything. So that's the one that I use.
Yeah, it's great. No, it's become really streamlined and like easier for people to just be able to edit things real quick and throw them on a social media platform. And even TikTok, like you could do a lot of the stuff straight through TikTok. Was it easy for you to start doing like the TikTok videos when you first started? Because at first I was real hesitant. I was like, I don't know if I could be on TikTok. Like I'm about to be 29. I don't know if I could be on there. I think everybody on there is dancing.
Shit, I'm 33 years old, a mother of two. I did start a little bit with the trends, with which ones did I did the transition from
voiceovers?
like mom mode. Did I do voiceovers? I don't know. If you look back on my TikTok, you'll see some of the trends. I had to take some down. But I did the whole like the transitions where you do the hands and then boom,
And
you
then
got the
boom,
makeup on. But I kind of stopped recently because a mom at daycare was like, I saw you on TikTok. And I was like,
Oh no.
I was like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
And that's when Hover started. So I started posting more on Hover, and I've slowed down a bit on TikTok. But now I feel like I want to start going back on TikTok, but pull away from those trends and post more personality clips from my streams. So pull away from the trends, use the same songs to get it within the algorithm, use the hashtags that work, but you're not going to see me dancing anymore.
No more choreographed dances.
No. I get time for that.
That's hilarious. Yeah, my wife is here as well. Sind3lla24. She said, I don't love TikTok. Like, I use TikTok because, like, it's inevitable, I think. You can't be left behind. Like, it's like being like, oh, I'm going to stay on MySpace when everybody was switching over to Facebook. Like, you got to move along with the times, like, or else you get left back.
That's the thing with media. You can't, like, go at your own pace alongside it. You gotta hop on the train.
You gotta, or else you get left behind. What do you like to do, like outside of streaming and content creation?
Well, right now my life is mostly isolation. I'm a full-time student as well, so a lot of the time it's doing that and house stuff. But did I have hobbies before kids? Yeah, I did. I used to love going out. I used to love dancing. I used to be with Oscar, is an actual in real life friend. We used to be in a Mexican ballet folklorico group here in Norway, in the city that I live.
What's that?
And I used to do that. folkloric dancing, like the big old dresses,
Oh,
the
really?
Mexican dresses, the hat dance. So like traditional dance, Mexican style dances.
Wow, you learned that from like your family back when you lived in San Diego?
No, 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 no. There's a group here that teach, and we practice, and we did performances, and traveled across Norway to teach about our culture and the history and the passion for dancing. So I did that. I used to swim, I used to surf, but parent life changes things.
Hey, yes it
But
does.
I love games. On my downtime, my husband and I, we sit down, we chill on our Discord, we play games. Mostly now it's video editing and stuff, but
Okay, so I'm sorry. My wife said that I knew about flocore. Is flocor? Is that how you pronounce it?
folklorico,
Folklorico. Okay. She
folkloric.
is Colombian, so she used to dance it as well. I thought it was specific to like Mexican culture, but I guess maybe they have
Mm-mm.
differences. Oh, okay, that's really awesome. I did not know I knew about that.
No, each country essentially, well, I'm not going to say every single one, but the majority of countries have their own style of dancing with their traditional clothes, and that is the folk lore of the country and the history. So it's just called folkloric dancing depending on what country you're from.
Hey, and Oscar says we miss you in the dancing group, Sind3lla. You were one of the best. That's amazing. Do you
No, I
do you ever
wasn't.
miss it?
I do
Do you
miss
be
it because
dancing around the house?
I miss like mi gente, like I may not be from Mexico. There is a difference with being born and raised in the United States. There's a saying that you're neither from here nor from there.
Mm.
So for the Mexicans, I'm not Mexican enough. For the Americans, I'm not American enough.
Yep.
But it was still that connection to my history, my culture that I grew up with, and I miss it a lot. I miss el cotorreo, which is like I don't know, the banter between all of us.
How do you say
So I
it?
do miss
Chaleo?
what? Cotorreo?
What did you say?
Cotorreo? Like
Cotorreo.
the cotorreo,
I never
like,
heard that one. It's so
yeah,
interesting,
cotorreo.
cotorreo. It's so interesting listening to the differences between each Latin American country. My family is from Dominican Republic, but I'm the same thing, first generation born here. I really only started getting like more in touch with like, because I grew up in the suburbs, like a predominantly white neighborhood, and I only started
Okay.
getting more in touch with like my Latino roots when I married my wife, who was like born and raised in Colombia, now living in the United States. She really like put me onto like, just I speak it more with her. I learn more about the culture and stuff, and it's super interesting. Like I learned so many different words that only Colombians
Yeah.
use, and it's so cool to just hear the differences. So cotorreo, I don't think I've ever heard that one.
There you go. Cotorreo.
What was it like moving from because San Diego was like, when I was there, it was predominant, like you saw a lot of Mexican people. There was a lot of amazing fucking Mexican food. I think I had the best burrito of my
Oh my
life in San
God.
Diego. It was
Yeah, I miss
amazing.
it. I miss it
Oh,
so
it was so
much.
good. And
Um,
I imagine moving to Norway was a bit of a culture shock. So could you
oh
explain what that
fuck.
was
Yeah,
like?
it was such a culture shock. It still is, like, even to this day. Like, I've been here now, what year is it? 2022. I've been here 12 years now.
12. Wow.
12 years. Um, but it's funny, like when I came here essentially because I wanted to experience a winter wonderland. I had a semester off. The plan was to go back and finish school. Didn't happen. I met my husband and I decided to stay here.
Wow.
Um, but it took getting used to, being the foreigner, being the outcast, and getting used to the people. Like when you come here, you get the first impression is that Norwegians are cold, but that's like, it could be further. That's like so far from the truth. They are very warm people. It just takes time to get to know them. They're not just going to open up like we're used to in the States. Like you go into the, grocery aisle store. Oh, how are you doing? Oh, honey, like, I'm so tired. Like that, that's not going to happen here. People want genuine interactions here. So it took some time to learn that, get past that, and learn how to connect with the people. But I've made so many beautiful friends here. Food wise, it's still lacking in flavor. don't get me started on Norwegian tacos. Chat, I already know chat's gonna bring that up.
Norwegian tacos. What's the difference?
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
It's just
not
a wrap.
taco,
It's
it's
not
a
a
wrap.
real.
It's a fucking wrap, but they call it taco. They put cucumber in it. They put corn. They put fucking corn.
I see. Tacos plus corn equal pure bliss. Let's get that
damn
corn.
it, Geeky.
Also, yes, we love tacos with corn. Corn. Oh man,
I've
that's
fed
hilarious.
you real tacos.
That's hilarious.
Geeky not Swagda and Swagda not Geeky are a streaming couple that live in the same city. We're real friends. They've been over to my house. I've fed them real tacos.
Real tacos.
Without fucking corn.
Have you taken your husband to San Diego?
Yeah. He's been there.
Oh, what
He's
do you
been
think?
there.
What do you think? San Diego is one of my favorite cities as well. I know Grand Piano Man said that as well. I'm dying to take my wife out to like California. We haven't been there yet, and San Diego's like Ocean Beach is one of my favorite spots that I went to when I was in.
I used to work at the beach.
Oh, did you? Oh man, now you're
Yeah,
so
I was a surfing and wakeboard instructor.
Wow.
And now I live in the rainiest city in Norway.
Switch said it's too big. San Diego was too big for you. That's so interesting. What about like? Did you ever consider both of y'all moving and living in San Diego?
I think we thought about it before we had kids, but now that we have kids, I don't think we want to, just because the country, the government is very good to families here. I feel very safe with my kids knowing that they have like full healthcare insurance, or not even insurance, just healthcare.
Yeah.
You know, and that is really big. You know, my husband has his health issues, and the country helps with that, helps him. We're safe. If we were to move, we have nothing. We have nothing there. So I don't think we would. We have to be responsible. We have to think smart, family wise. But if it was just us, maybe, I don't know, I'd consider it.
Oh man, the weather in San Diego is just like perfect. Like I was chilling with like long sleeves and shorts. I was like, what is going on here? This is a mixture of whatever. Like it was just crazy. It was amazing because I live in New York, so I'm used to like the cold and the people being like very like, you know, to themselves and not really like. When we went to California, it was exactly how you described it. Everyone was just kind of like on a slower pace too. Yeah, like things were still closed. Yeah, just vibe, chill. I was like, yo, the stores are not even open. It's like 10 a.m. I'm trying to get some food. What's going on here? But everybody's on their own cool time. Is there like have you found any other Mexicans in Norway, like in the city that you live in, or is it like predominantly like the people that are born in Norway live there?
I mean, yeah, there is a Mexicanos in Bergen group. I met Oscar there, Oscar in chat, and then the group that we dance with. So there is a group. Is it big? Not really. I mean, it's not really that big. I mean, there's probably like 100 or something members, but the city is relatively small compared to San Diego. But yeah, there's a lot of Latinos in the country. There's a lot of how would I say, non-Norwegian born people in this country, and it's diversifying a little bit more now throughout the last 12 years that I've been here.
That's awesome to see.
But yeah, like mostly Norwegian. Like I live on an island, so like my kid is one of very few mixed kids at his daycare.
Is it summer right now for you?
It's
no,
not
it's winter, right?
No,
it's winter, right?
It's winter.
So what time does it get dark out? I need to know, like, what is like the sunlight period?
I think y'all help me out here, bringing people. The sun's going down like what, 4:30?
Oh, okay, that's pretty. For some reason I thought it was like very short, like days, like, and then in the summers it was like very very long days. Is that also happening in Norway?
Yeah.
Or somewhere else?
No. It is. It's just I'm a little bit more south in Norway, but way up north we have the midnight sun, so it's like 24 hours of sun. Wow. The sun like barely just like touches the horizon and it goes back up, and then they have the full darkness in the winter, which is like sort of like what's that horror movie, like 30 days of what's it called, like that vampire movie or something, 30 Days a Night or something like that, and it's like legit
Damn.
dark all winter.
I really want to go in the summer. Like I've seen like fjords look
There we go.
beautiful. Holy crap,
Mhm.
those look amazing. I need to
Yeah.
see that before I die. Somebody asked,
Yeah.
on the subject of food cultures, what Norwegian dish could you not live without now?
I could live without all of them. Just kidding. There isn't. Okay,
What
it's
is what is
okay,
like
it's
like
farmer
what is it
food.
known for?
None of it, exactly. Potatoes. They're known for potatoes. It's so you got to think about, like, you got to realize that the history of Norway is like farmlands. A lot of people had their farms are very separated from each other, so they had to like have wild stock and like grow potatoes. So it's very much based on stuff like that. Very like vegetable based. What is it? Raspebolla. Raspebolla is like, what is it? Shaved down potatoes, and then they make like big ass meatballs out of that, and so it's like huge ass potato meatballs.
Raspebolla.
Raspebolla. Pinnekjøtt is, fuck, what is pinnekjøtt? Is it goat? Is it lamb? It's like ribs, but they're so salty. They're so salty, but I don't eat it. I don't eat
No.
it.
Have you picked up on the language? Like, have you learned any of the language while you've been there?
Yeah. I had to well, one, because I live here, my kids are gonna speak it. But I'm just now continuing my education at 33. I'm on my last year of getting my bachelor's. Because like I said, I was here essentially for a semester, but that didn't happen, and then it took like 10 years to learn the language again at a university level.
Wow.
So yeah, all my university classes are in Norwegian. I am allowed to write in English. Most of the curriculum, like textbooks and stuff, is in English because it's social media communications. But yeah, I do speak Norwegian.
Are most of like the businesses around, like, are they in Norwegian, or do they also put them in English? Like, how's that work? Like,
now I think the whole like society is transitioning and realizing that now that we've been remote the past 2 years, they need to start opening up and changing to English. A lot of companies do have English based what's the word, like a workforce. I don't. A lot of companies do speak English.
Yeah.
But local, it's Norwegian. It's Norwegian at the stores.
Oh God,
restaurants.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at Smålahav. Is this like straight up?
Don't do it.
What is that? What the hell?
Don't do it.
Oh,
Don't do it.
Oh
you
no!
did it.
People
You did
eat
it.
this?
Back. He did it.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't.
Damn. Is this like a specialty? Like, you have this on like like holidays and like occasions, or this is like something people eat pretty often?
I don't think it's often. It's more of a Christmas thing, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I will never try that.
You've never eaten
ever
it?
try that. Hell no.
I'm trying to think of like a Latin food that would be like the equivalence of this, like that maybe people in Norway would be like, what the hell? Why do y'all eat that?
Monkey brains, maybe? Monkey brains? We Latinos eat a lot of weird ass shit.
I've heard of guinea pigs down in like the Peru area. They'll eat guinea pigs.
Uh-huh.
I never.
Well,
monkey
like in
brains.
Mexico, like the other day, I heard that they eat like axolotl. Like the little cute little axolotls that you like in Minecraft. I don't know if you know what they are. Apparently they make like stews out of them in Mexico. Because it's good for you.
Good.
I'm never eating. No, like it's good for your health. Like it's really, really good for your health apparently. But
there's a lot of.
I don't know. I guess.
Oh man, Smålahav is more of a specialty. It tastes just like lamb, but don't really think there's a special occasion for it. I'll have to close my eyes. Like, I don't think I would be able to eat that, like, looking at it. I don't know. I just feel strange. Jeremy said, us Frenchies have snails and frog legs, so.
There you go.
Hey.
Escargot.
And my wife is like that. She's like, oh, I want to try, like, scorpions, and I want to try this. And, like, I'm like, all right, I mean, for the experience, I guess I'll do it. But there's some stuff out there that I don't even know if I'd be able to eat. Like, this Smålahav would be a real intense experience. Oh man. And then your kids, are they gonna learn Norwegian and Spanish? Like, are you gonna make sure that they still learn Spanish?
I speak Spanish to them, but they refuse to respond in Spanish. It's really hard.
So
It's
hard.
really hard when you have like two wild little like demon spawn. You don't have the time to be like, answer me in Spanish, answer me in Spanish, because you want them to just like react and do what they need to do. Um, so I talk in Spanish. They respond in Norwegian. They hear me and my husband speak in English.
Oh.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. That's awesome. Like they're gonna appreciate it when they get older. Like, at least for me, that's how it was. Like,
Yeah.
my grandma would try and teach me Spanish, and like, because I lived in like
Mhm.
predominantly white neighborhood, like sometimes I would get
Yeah.
embarrassed. Like, it was just like a feeling of like, oh, I don't want to stand out. Like, I don't want my friends to be like,
Uh-huh.
huh, what are you saying? Like, what, can you translate that? And like, I just always tried to like just blend in and stuff. But now that I'm
Mhm.
older, I'm like, thank God that I learned a second language, because it gets harder as you get older. Like, your mind is just like more of a
Mhm.
sponge when you're younger.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and I see that. I think he's like my oldest is about to turn 6. And I see that he really does not want to respond in Spanish, especially when we're around his friends.
Mhm.
But he does call me mommy, and he calls my husband papi, which
Okay.
is like in Spanish. And in Norwegian, it's like mama and papa.
Mhm.
And he's like the only kid that will be like mommy and papi, and it hasn't been a problem for him. Like even even his friends are call me mommy because they think that it's my name or something. I don't know. It's cute. It's cute.
Kiki says, weird. I call you mommy too. And yeah, they
Hey,
will be
well,
so ahead of their
not here.
classes. They will be so ahead. And like, it's just, it's an amazing thing. You get to listen to more music. Like, the world of music just opens up to you when you then can understand other languages.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Um,
We call her that. God damn it. Yeah. They call me mommy. Yes,
yeah.
they do.
How would
They
you
do.
describe your community? Because I see here they got a lot of love for you. You guys have a lot of great inside jokes. Like, how would you describe your community?
Trollish but amazing is like like I said, like it's a family. It's a fucking family. Like if you can't have jokes, then I don't know, then it's too serious. I think we've all like established that relationship that we all like truly genuinely care for each other. Um and once you get to that level, then the jokes come
Yeah.
and it's just fun. It's just fucking fun. I mean, yeah, see, throw me a kiss. Fucking I like I scold them all the fucking time. Like that's what it's just come down to. Like I said, like I'm the mom of the fucking of the fucking family.
See, I like that vibe because it's like you could take jokes and everything is funny, but like nobody's disrespectful. Like, that's what I tell like the people
No,
that come to view
no.
me as well, is like, never anything homophobic, never anything racist, never anything
Mm-mm.
discriminatory. But we're in here to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just here to have a good time. Feel free to joke around and
Mhm.
show your sense of humor, but never like when it impedes on somebody else. And like, that's when it goes too far, when you're using somebody else and their traits to like be the butt of the joke or something.
Yeah, no. That's what I really love about everybody in the community is that they're very supportive of each other. And when something bad happens, they genuinely care. They'll ask, they'll message each other what's going on. I've had people that have like sent us their phone number if we wanted to ever talk when we were going through shit. If something happens to me in chat, they are very, very supportive when trolls come in. And they're not toxic though. That's what I really, really love and appreciate, that we've built this community together, not just me, like together, because they have their own interactions with everybody else as well, of course. And it's just built into a very supportive and loving community, but we're not support for support, which they all understand. We all understand that. But it is support on a personal level, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No.
It's not support for support streamer number wise, statistic wise, but it is on a personal family level. And I don't know, I think we all vibe together really, really well, and it's humbling. I feel blessed. It's amazing. It blows my mind sometimes. But I'm very proud of the community we have.
Hey, Amazing answer. Sarah, thank
Even
you.
though y'all are a bunch of fucking trolls.
There it is. There's the scolding right there. There's the mom in you. Sarah, thank you so much for playing that with the bits. I will play it at the end. I just have sound alerts turned off right now, just because if like our guest is giving an amazing answer, I don't want just like, you know, the Illuminati sounds to just start playing in the middle of that. So I will play that for you at the end. Thank you to everybody who's come through. Happy Sunday. We are here with Sind3lla, speaking about a lot of awesome stuff. We've talked about her, the difference in culture. We've had some amazing culture shocks for me, seeing that, what is it, Smolahov. Am I pronouncing that right?
We don't talk about it.
We don't talk
no,
about it.
just don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. Small. I don't even know. Is it small?
And what is the Umbra Collective? I haven't gotten to ask you about that yet.
Yeah, Umbra Collective. It's fairly new. It's a esports and lifestyle organization. It was started by 7 streamers, and they have their esports competitive groups. They have Halo, they have League of Legends, they have and a women and men's Valorant team. Even right now as we speak, the Halo's men team are competing. But it also has, alongside the competitive groups, it has a stream team of a variety of different types of content creators. Some play COD, some play Valorant. I myself am a variety streamer. So it's very diverse with the wide range of content for everybody. Mm-hmm. And it's just like I said, it's an esports lifestyle organization. So they look for partnerships with different other companies. They compete as well. They look for sponsorships, partnerships with like Glitch Energy, which is like the energy drink that we are partnered with or sponsored with, merch and whatnot. And so that's what it is. And I really, really liked it. The reason that I agreed to joining them when they reached out to me was because they gave off a very family feel as well. And we're very, very passionate about equality. So there's like a woman, it's like 50-50 of who runs like the CEO, CBOs, and the staff of the organization is very, very equal, as well as the stream team. It's going to be 50-50 as well. So that's why I really, really liked it. And I don't know, I'm slowly starting to meet the stream team because, like I said, it's very, very new. But despite the differences, I think that I think it's great that how we don't necessarily have to have the same interests in the same game to be able to vibe together and create an amazing environment for each other. So that's why I really liked Umbra Collective.
So they reached out to you?
Mm-hmm.
When was
the CBO reached out to me, I think it was in December. They found me on Hover.
Oh, okay. So what did they say? Like, what about you was that they liked, that attracted them, that made them want to reach out to you?
My content, they liked. I guess they liked my personality. They like my personality because that's mostly what I post on Hover is personality clips. Me reacting to games or me reacting to things that happen on stream with chat with the community. So I think that's the reason why, because I'm a woman, I'm passionate about women within the gaming industry, within content creation. And they supported that and they liked that.
That's awesome. And what would you say like the benefits of being like on a stream team is for like anybody who's out there who's like, you know, looking at stream teams and they like want to somehow be part of it? Like, what do you think the benefits are to it? How would you go about like trying to get their attention?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this stream team with Umbra is not a Twitch stream team, so there is a difference with that. I am part of a Twitch stream team. I can go through both. The benefits of like a Twitch stream team is networking possibilities. You know, you're sort of like you have a group together. A stream team on Twitch is started off by a partnered streamer. So it usually starts within the community and it expands from there. So it's networking opportunities, finding like-minded people that either enjoy the same games or just have the same type of personality and whatnot. So that's the benefits of that. The benefits of being on a like esports lifestyle organization is for like sponsorships later on. If you want to then essentially move from one esports org to another, if you want to grow or grow within the same organization, there's like sponsorship opportunities there, because then the organization looks for them for you, right? And you have those connections within the industry like that.
Okay, that's awesome. See, I had no idea. I really didn't know. I know there are different stream teams out there. I just never really knew like
Mhm.
what it is that they offer, like what it is that they do. But it seems like it's more just like a literally like a collective of like a team that
Mhm.
you go to, and like if you check out one person's, do you guys like shout each other out and stuff?
Yeah, I have an automatic shout out for them. But I mean, that is up to chat itself if they want to follow them.
Of course.
Um, but yeah, like stop by and say hi and whatnot on the Twitch streams, interact with each other's content on other platforms. But it's not like it's not a requirement. It's not like, oh, you have to. Why didn't you show up to my stream or any of that? It's not like that. Um,
Yeah.
Neither for the Twitch stream team or the Umbra stream team. It's not like that. This is all mostly about like making genuine connections with people and looking for, growth opportunities together.
That's awesome. Yeah, because you don't want it to become support for support. Like that's when,
No.
and that's I hate that stuff because like it's so ungenuine. It's like the second that I have something else in my life that I have to do and I can't go visit your stream, all of a sudden you become petty and you don't come to my streams anymore. Like I hate
Oh my
that shit.
gosh.
Like it's childish. It's definitely childish.
I've had that happen.
Oscar says,
I've definitely had that happen.
and it's not it feels bad because you're like, oh, did you not enjoy my content? Like the only reason you were really in here was because you thought you could gain something from me, and now that you haven't
Exactly.
gained anything from me, like that's it, you drop me.
Yeah,
I hate that.
1000%.
Terrible feeling. Oscar says, when I was growing up, adults would tell me that spending excessive time playing video games could lead to less time socializing with friends and family, poor social skills, time away from schoolwork, decreased sleep, less exercise, less time we could use on other hobbies. Do you guys think this misconception has changed now? And that's what I was kind of saying at the beginning. I could have never, ever, ever imagined like a platform like Twitch existing when I was a kid, because I love video games. Like I grew up playing Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, like all these games on GameCube and Nintendo games, and I love them, but my family was always like, that's a hobby. Like not even a hobby. That's like something you do after you're done with your
You waste your
homework.
time on.
Yeah. Like don't sit in front of there. Like if you can, go out and like be with actual friends and stuff. And it was a good balance, like I do enjoy the outdoor stuff. Like I enjoyed my childhood riding bikes with my friends
Exactly.
and stuff. But I also enjoyed playing video games with my friends. So like there was that double thing, but it always felt like, I don't know, maybe it was a Latin family thing, maybe it wasn't. They were always just like, video games is not something that you can do for the rest of your life. And now I see people,
Exactly.
they're like 12 years old making millions of dollars. I'm like, what the? This is crazy.
It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing how it's changed. But I do believe that misconception is still very much alive with many people. But for the more modern generation, it's definitely changing. Like gaming the video game industry is the top leading organization. It's bigger than movies and music combined. Like just think about
That's
that.
crazy.
Music and movies combined does not match the video game industry.
That's why you see so many
That's
people
just how fucking big it is.
getting involved with it. Like you see people like T-Pain, they have a stream team. Snoop Dogg, I think, is involved in it. Like it's huge.
It's fucking huge. But yeah, I do think that is changing. I have been more social sitting in this chair than I have within the past 10 years, like living in Norway. Not saying that none of my relationships in real life are not genuine. I'm just saying that I've been more social here. So it's not that it's not social. Poor social skills. What are we doing now, for example?
Socializing, yeah. And we
We're
could have never
socializing,
done this.
and it's not. No, and it's not just video games. It's just it's content creation in general, because there's a lot of just chatting, cooking, body art genres on Twitch as well. So it's sort of evolved more than just video games, I believe. But what else? Time away from schoolwork. It depends on what your schoolwork is. A lot of my schoolwork revolves around gaming and Twitch and socializing and social media. So I'm teaching my kids how to game as well because I think that it's important. I know my husband, for example, growing up playing World of Warcraft or other games, learned English because of it.
Yeah.
He was able to learn better English talking with friends from the UK or whatnot. So there's so many benefits to it. It's not just sitting there and watching TV. There's no interaction with you in television. You just sit there and you consume. Whereas in a game, you're
Yeah.
interacting back and forth. There's consequences based on your decisions, on your critical thinking, on your reasoning, on what you do, whether you're playing with somebody else, collaboration, teamwork, problem solving. There's none of that with television.
Nothing.
So
It's a one-way avenue, straight
that
up. I
exactly.
don't know if it's like the misconception around the world, but I know in the United States, like they always like to attribute violence to video games, and they like to say that people that play video games
Mm,
are like more prone to being violent or more prone to like committing like shootings and stuff. And my response to that
mhm.
was always like, there are people that play all around the world. Like there are countries that play even more than the United States, and you don't see these types of like levels of violence or whatever it is that people are using to describe. Like it was always just like a, I don't know, like a cheap like kind of like a scapegoat, like, oh, just blame video
Yeah,
games or whatever.
exactly. Yeah.
And I hate it. I did not like that.
That actually reminded me, like when I was younger, I actually went to like Sacramento to like advocate for what the hell was it for? It was like to try to get the senators to implement gaming within schools, and it was to defend the fact that video games don't make people violent,
Hmm.
and to give examples of why video games was beneficial to kids in school.
Hmm.
And that was something that was always brought up, was that it makes people violent, it makes people violent, it promotes violence within the youth and whatnot. And it's crazy that there is that misconception
Yeah.
of it. Can it I mean, maybe, but that doesn't start from video games. That starts within the person, right?
Hmm.
Like you can easily be like, oh, if movies make people violent.
Hmm.
They showcase the same amount of violence and actions towards other people.
Yeah, straight up. And
No.
and yeah, I mean, like, you can't go to extremes of everything. I'm not gonna say that there isn't like negative effects to video games, because obviously we spoke a little bit about it
Yeah, yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
There's toxicity all over Twitch, and a lot
Mm.
of like toxic masculinity with like young boys who like get real
Oh
fucking
yeah.
enraged at stuff, and like, but I wouldn't attribute that directly to video games. Like there's something else going on there. Um, Geeky whispered me a link.
I wrote my thesis on that.
Oh, did you? What was that about?
So I did a case study on Gamergate. I don't know if you know what Gamergate was, um, in relation to the recent hate raids on Twitch.
Can you describe it again? I know
So
that was like a few years back, right? Gamergate.
yeah, so Gamergate it started off as like a quarrel between a boyfriend and girlfriend. Both of them were game developers, and then the ex-boyfriend wrote on some sort of like forum exposing his girlfriend, saying that she only climbed to success because she slept with so and so, and that because she's a woman ultimately. And so from that came like this rise of uh, basement nerds attacking women within the industry, attacking journalists and whatnot, and it just sort of like flourished into this media attack on women,
Hmm.
women and journalism, on gaming journalism. And so I wrote that. Thank you,
Soon then.
Cinder-chan. Excuse me. Sorry, I've recently
Bless
just
you.
got finished with COVID, so there's still like,
Oh no, I hope you're feeling okay.
um, yeah, I'm feeling better. But so like the case study that I did was sort of taking Gamergate and the mentality ideologies behind that, and research how it sort of evolved into a anti-diversity. Before it was anti-feminism, now it's anti-diversity, and a lot of that is attributed to affordances that games provide. So affordances is like things that allow you to do certain things. So if a game allows you to teabag, for example, just a brief example, that could then lead to some toxicity. Or if there's in-game chat, then that also leads to another form of toxicity. So that's sort of what I was talking about,
Hmm.
and how a lot of affordances in games can lead to that, and in media in general. and how like a lot of these hate raids targeted not only women but marginalized members from marginalized
Hmm.
groups and whatnot within the gaming industry and media industry.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
that was the that was the recent, right? Like a couple months back. I remember the hate raids was like pretty big.
Yeah, that was this past summer.
Yeah.
And then they had the Twitch boycott was on the 1st of September.
Hmm. Um, that's so interesting. And yeah, the affordances, like you said, like the being anonymous, like being able to say anything you want through a username that has no connection to who you are in real life. Like
Hmm.
people feel real brave when they're behind the screen and you don't know
Exactly.
and you can't see them. And that's like the worst side of the internet,
Yeah,
right? Like the
exactly.
people just being able to like be real hateful and say things that they would never ever say in real life if they saw you in person.
Mm. Yeah, or do things that you wouldn't be able to get away with in society. Like one example, one to relate it to gaming, one gaming example would be um, a skin on Dead by Daylight, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Bubba, the one that like peels the skin and makes the masks out of the skin. One of them was based off of one of the survivors in the game, and it was a black survivor, so it was a black mask. And a lot of people were complaining about that they were experiencing racist sort of toxic behavior if they themselves were a black content creator because the killer was wearing that black mask, stream sniping black creators, players, and using that to target them in game and just be toxic and tunnel them in game. So like that's one example of like how affordances can lead to targeted toxicity towards members of marginalized groups.
Mm. And what do you think, like a solution, or like how could we progress on this? Like, what do you think needs to be done on Twitch's behalf, on just I guess like a societal level? Like, what do you think? How do we fix this?
Well, thanks to excuse me, thanks to like the members of the Dead by Daylight community and on Twitch and content creation, like all the society's point of view, we have a sense of responsibility to talk about it and to bring these topics up. And then the industry also has a sense of responsibility to listen to its community and implement those changes and see that, how it's affecting the members of its community. Thankfully, Behavior, the game developers behind Dead by Daylight, finally listened to its community and removed that skin. So it's examples like that may influence other game developers, publishers to be like, this is, if we remove this, it doesn't hurt anybody, but it helps and saves a lot of other people
Yeah.
from, mental stress, anxiety, from having to face those experiences of hate towards them.
Yeah.
So I think it's like both sides have a social responsibility to speak up about it and not just stand by and be silent.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Panda Freakster says, do you believe it's harder to make it as a content creator streamer as a man or a woman, and why? If I may ask of you both, if you want to take that first. That kind of ties into like your overlay, right? The boys tiers and like the concept of why you have that, right? So can you talk a little bit about your perspective on that?
I think it just boils down to how much work you put into it, and also, I mean, you kind of have to have sorry, you sort of have to have I don't know, I guess the personality for it. Like you can't just sit and play. That's not going to get you anywhere. You see a lot of these people that just sit at their PCs and they're playing. They're not even looking at the camera. They're just looking at the screen. And then they complain about someone that is making it big because she's a woman.
Yeah.
Like, but then again, you also have a lot of women that don't do that also just play and don't interact with chat, and they're not making it either. I think it's just very easy, like you said, to use women as a scapegoat for why these I like to call them like what did I name? What did I call them in my thesis? Basement nerds. Yes, but there was another one. Basement warriors. It was a basement warriors. And recently, I just was like yesterday, someone told me that someone had come into their voice channel talking about me specifically. They were drunk and saying that the only reason that I have success was because I was a woman. Go into their channel and there's nothing. The first panel you see is donate to me, right? Like,
and then people.
If you're not going to put in the work and the effort, then I mean, you're not going to see the growth and success. But I don't think that women have it easier just because they're women. I don't think that men have it easier because they're men. Um, I think it boils. I mean, the industry is led by men, so ultimately they have an advantage to that already.
Yeah, I was
Um,
gonna say every time they release like top streamers, the top 10 is like mostly dudes, like it's mostly men that you see on
mhm.
there, like Asmongold, Hassan. Like there's a lot of guys on there, and then that's why I don't get the the criticism, the hate, and I think it is comes down to personality and how much work you put into it.
Mhm.
I hate that when I go into
I
like
mean,
a raid and people just like, I get that you're focused on the game and some people are real competitive with it. I play games
yeah.
that like I don't care if I die. I'm just there to like that's like background. Like I'm really trying to entertain.
Mhm.
So if I die, it's not a big deal. And I get that some people aren't
Yeah.
like that. But if you're on here trying to be a streamer, ultimately you're an entertainer. You're a performer. Like you're here
Mhm.
to people are here to watch you. So I think that it's really about the work and
Exactly.
the personality that you put behind it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. If we're gonna talk like esports competitive wise, like so we have to see that also. Like I said, this industry was ultimately started by men and led by men. And like when you look at how games are created, the narrative behind the games, you see that it comes from a like male view, right? Like things are portrayed from the male view. Even things such as like console controls didn't they recently just started releasing smaller ones for female, like smaller
Hands.
hands, because they were made to be for like big gripped men hands, and things like that. Now they're slowly changing. They're creating consoles for kids, consoles for smaller hands, chairs for women, being more open about it, but like also looking at how society has changed through history and gaming, and how boys relate to games and women relate to games. Boys were the ones that were playing video games with their buddies. The girls were, I don't know, having fucking tea parties or playing dress up and whatnot. So boys started earlier with video games, and they have that advantage over a lot of women. Luckily now the major it's 50-50 of who plays video games, but yet the industry is still very much led by men, and like you said, the top streamers are men as well. Um, so it's something that needs to and is changing, but it has a long ways to
To
go.
go straight up. Grand Piano Man said something that I find pretty interesting. I'd like to get your opinion on it. He said, "I feel like women and men have different reasons for growing. Like there are things that men can get away with that women can't, and vice versa." Grand Piano Man, like, would an
Mm.
example of that be kind of like hot tub streams? So like, I have no problem with it. Honestly, I really don't care. Like the people that think that if you have hot tub streams on Twitch, like that'll take viewers away from like other people, like that makes absolutely no sense to me, because the
That
viewers,
makes no sense.
yeah, the viewers were gonna
They're
go
not
and
the
find
same.
something that they wanted to watch. If they didn't want to watch you,
They weren't gonna find you.
yeah, exactly. Like whether those hot tub streams are there or not, if they don't want to watch you, they don't want to watch you. Like that's when people just get into
No.
like the mentality of like people owe them like their views, like they
Yeah.
should watch. Like no, you gotta earn that view. Like you gotta do something that genuinely gets people to want to watch you. So I never understood that, but I guess like I could see like I don't think men do hot tub streams as much, do they? Like maybe they started trolling around and joking with them.
Yeah, they did.
They
They
did,
did
right?
start trolling around and doing that. And fuck, I would tune into that because that shit was fucking hilarious. Not because I was into it, but that was just because it was fucking
Genuinely
funny.
funny as
But
hell.
but no, you're absolutely right. That view wasn't yours to begin with.
Oh, Grand
Like
Piano Man, you
I
said
don't
not
understand that.
exactly. What did you mean then? Like what was yours? Because yeah, I would love to know like what you meant about that. Oscar said, "Our dear Sind3lla dies all the time on video games, and we don't care. We embrace her. We help her to stand up. If she dies in the game, we are all in the same boat." Yeah,
I like to, yeah. Like people, like I say, like if you came for my gameplay, then I feel sorry for you. People don't come to see me. People don't come to see my, or maybe they come to see my gameplay because it's fucking horrible. But I like to create experiences and moments with them. There's many games that I play where they're sad, I cry, but it's a moment and an experience that we were able to share together. That's what I strive for. That's what I want to share. I love indie games and showing indie games to people, and a lot of the times they're sad, and it's not necessarily for how I play the game, but how we experience it together.
Yeah, straight up. Like, I really do not give a shit. I don't care. I watched this streamer duo, and I can't tell if they've been playing the same exact part of Bloodborne. Like, it all looks the same to me. I don't know if they've just been running around in circles doing the exact same thing, but I love being in their stream. I love watching them. I told them, I don't care. You guys could literally, like, just replay the same exact thing, just running back and forth, and I would still watch you guys because that's how much I love the personality. Geeky said, this needs fact checking, but I saw a TikTok of a dude raking his hair downstairs live on Twitch and only got his account suspended for a week or two. What does that mean? Was raking his hair downstairs? Oh, his pubes? Wait, really?
Yeah, there was something about something about how a guy showed like part of his penis or something on stream, and then he got like I said, suspended for like a week or two. But then someone else, a woman, had a scanty or scandalous outfit on, and then she gets banned for longer. But the what's the word? The hypocrisy? That's not the word.
Yeah.
It goes for the women as well. Like, there was one particular woman recently on Twitter that was like, I get banned for this outfit, and it was like pants with like some slits and like a really low cut shirt, and then she posted pictures of like Amaranth, for example. So then, like,
yeah,
why the fuck is she getting banned when
Amaranth.
the bikini streamers are in thongs and stuff?
Yeah.
So like that pertains within women as well, I think.
I feel like at that point, it's like Twitch just follows the money. Like, they know Amaranth is a huge content creator on their platform, and I think they've banned her in the past for like a day or two, and then she's right back. It's just money.
Yeah, there was another one that also got banned, and they were both hot tub streamers, and they were banned together, and they're like, so I'm banned, you're banned, mani petty together and back to work on Monday.
Yeah,
like,
they knew they would be right back because they just make them so much money. All right, Grand Piano Man said, so like there seems like there are overall things that don't work in general for men that might for women. I think you meant to say women. And then there are things that like men want to see men do or not, that do not trigger growth for them. We'll talk about this deeper soon, brother. All right, yeah. Talk to me about it on Discord, because it sounds like you got to get into some specifics, because I'm having a little bit of trouble trying to figure out what you're saying. Just look at BB Jess, who got banned because someone mass reported her boobies. Damn.
Yeah, she has a emote of two little bees together, and they're like dressed as ghosts. So they're like
boobies.
Bees. So they're boobies, and she got mass reported. So it was like an attack of mass reports, and Twitch's automatic reaction is to ban the account when something like that happens. But the issue here was that they didn't follow up quick enough to see what the actual incident was, and then because of the reports and the ban, it caused them to not pay her in time as well.
Damn, that is.
And so it was just like a lack of follow-up from Twitch itself.
That's people's livelihoods. If you're a full-time content creator, that's
but I wanted to touch on like what Grand Piano Man said, that there seems to be overall things that don't work in general for men, and vice versa. I think that sort of just like falls on societal norms, that people are so used to things being a certain way and that they're scared of change, and when they see that change, they're going to retaliate about it. Like, that's the whole issue with like Gamergate and what happened. Like, they were saying that like Twitch is for dudes, like Twitch is for games, and it's not. It's changing, it's evolving. You see how recently last year the addition of 350 community tags, the tags that you can add on your stream when you go live. Like, there was a whole bunch of like social identifying or self-identifying tags that were included and whatnot. It's changing. It's not for games anymore, and so a lot of these people feel like their masculinity is being targeted, and they're losing that sense of, they're losing their sense of identity, and they're scared of the change. So I think, like I said, that comes with societal norms and what you are used to and how secure you feel with yourself. But if you are open, like if you see a lot of the people within my community and the people that I revolve around myself with, that sort of like expectation isn't being held on anyone specific because you're a woman or you're a man or you're non-binary. That doesn't exist so much anymore within like the people within my community. So I just think it's sort of like where you come from, what you grew up with, what you expect.
Yeah, straight up. Geeky said, if you could improve one thing on Twitch, what would it be? what I would improve, they definitely got to fix like their discoverability. Like it seems like almost impossible to grow just off of Twitch. Like you need to be on TikTok, Hover, YouTube. Like you need to be on every other platform and bring people in from there, or Discord. Like Discord was a huge one for me to just get like the ball rolling, like just finding other streamers, being in there, talking to them, like just collaborating with people. Like that was huge for me, Discord. The Twitch clips I don't really get. Like I'll make Twitch clips and then it'll play and then it'll bring me to another Twitch clip from like a Twitch creator that has like millions of views and stuff, and like I'm like, yo, this doesn't help me. Like it's just like a weird algorithm. I don't know. They need to fix that. What would you fix or improve?
Yeah, that was weird. No, I agree with the discoverability amongst content creators, but also like the support for smaller creators as well. Like removing the host alerts for any hosts that are 3 and under. Like, why the hell would you do that? That removes a possibility of being able to, one, let the person that you're there and you're supporting them, and 2, for the creator to be like, hey, thank you so much, and for them to know that people are there hosting them. I don't understand why they would remove a possibility for interaction and connection within community, between community members. So I think that they really need to help out the smaller streamers as well, and not just focus on the big streamers.
See, I had no idea they did that. And the other day I was hosting someone and like I was waiting for the alert to go off because I hadn't chatted yet. I wanted to just host them and that be the first thing that they knew that I was in their stream, and it never went off. And I was like, what the hell is going on? I had to unhost, host it again. Nothing was happening. And then I'm like, hey, I'm here. I've been here for a while. I was trying to host you. I don't know if it's working or whatever. And then I was like, maybe they have their alerts off, but I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, no, they removed the alerts for any hosts that are under 3 people. But just for anybody out there, if you use the bot Mix It Up bot, it's an app that you can download on your PC. If you look up tutorials on how to get those host alerts to work, they will work. Okay. And you will get that notification, and you can have it so that it types something in chat. But like, it's just sad that you have to refer to a local bot to do that.
Third party, yeah. And yeah, Jeremish said I was curious, and he thought that his alerts were busted. So like it's like Twitch doesn't even like inform you that this is happening. It's kind of just like I'm learning this from fellow streamers, and I had no idea. If you hadn't said that, I would have really thought that, oh, I guess like every streamer I'm trying to do this to just doesn't have their alerts set up. But now I know.
They did it to protect against bot hosting. Yeah, but like that's just ridiculous. Like,
I've never been hosted
by other
bot.
ways.
Yeah, I've never been
hosted by, well, I mean, unless you were on their auto hosts list, maybe, then you don't get the notification.
Yeah, I remember Haas, was it was like that one, like during the hate raids and stuff. Like,
oh my god,
I got followed by like 30 bots, and it just kept going off the alerts, and I was really freaking out. Like, I was stressed out. I was like, shit, and I was trying to stream and like ignore it, but at the same time it just kept playing, and I was like, oh my god, this is so stressful. And then I did some like commander root thing, which at first I was really hesitant about it. I was like, I don't know, like this sounds like a virus like waiting for me. Like this sounds like a honey trap right now. And then I finally did it, and it just like purged everything. And then since then it's been fine.
Yeah. No, commander root is great tool.
It just sounded so funny to me.
Just gotta be careful. Don't remove all your followers. That has happened to like somebody that I know. She had like over 3,000 followers on Twitch, and she accidentally deleted them all and had to like start over.
Oh my god,
it sucks.
What would you do if like today that happened to you? Like you had to start completely from scratch. Like how would you go about getting like back on your feet?
I mean, I think like my community would still know, it would follow back and whatnot, but like, I don't know. The number necessarily isn't it. The number doesn't lead to success. Like you may think like, oh, you have 1.6, but like not 1.6 follow me, not 1.6 sub to me. It's just milestones at this point. But it would still suck. It would still suck to know that people aren't getting that notification anymore.
Have you received any like hate or discrimination on Twitch like since you've started gaming? I know obviously like as you get bigger, there will be more people in there, which leads to inevitably like just more of a chance of like some dickhead being in amongst those people. Like you've obviously built an amazing community, but the bigger you get, the more people slip in through the cracks. Yeah,
no. When was this? It was a while ago. So Bandai Namco, the creators of Little Nightmare, the game,
Oh, amazing game.
yeah, they gave me a shout out on their Twitter, and they shared a clip of me playing the game. Um, and it was great. It was just a shout out. It wasn't anything like more than that. But I got a lot of hate from the Latin community, surprisingly enough, because apparently they went into like my socials and saw that I have Latinx.
Oh, people get
I
real
myself,
heated about that.
so I myself, I identify as Latina, but I am part of the Latinx and gaming community, and I use the word Latinx within my social media to show that I am open to anybody being who they are and who they want to be. And so I got a lot of hate from that, a lot of messages. And it even went as far as them like searching me up privately because I had my real name on Twitter, because I'm an ambassador for the Women in Games organization, and they use your real name there. So that was like a pin post. They found my real name. They found me on Facebook. They went through my pictures, and then they used that to target me and attack me, saying that I wasn't a real Mexican woman, that if I was a real Mexican woman, my child wouldn't look as white as he did, regardless of the fact that his father is Norwegian, that real Mexicans don't use the term Latinx, that they refute pronouns. Like, how the fuck are you gonna like refute pronouns? What the fuck? What are you then? Like, pronouns existed before and will always exist thereafter. How you use them is what's changing. But that I experienced that. Luckily, it didn't lead to anything within my stream. That was more personal. But I have had attacks and trolls enter my stream, and just try to wreak havoc before. Luckily enough, I have amazing mods. My husband is on that shit, and my other mods are as well. But it's not anything that will get me down. If anything, I strive off of it. That's why I have the boys tiers overlay on my stream.
You gotta just turn it to
like,
content. That's what I've learned. Like, if trolls come in here,
exactly,
flip it to content. That's it. You are now part of the laughter.
Right?
We're making
Thank
clips
you.
out of you. That's the best way to do it, because trolls want to get you mad. They want to go in there and make you have a bad time, and they just want to be trolls. They want to be trolls. But if you show them, if you show them, hey, this is not gonna get to me. I don't care. I don't give a shit what you do. And now I got you on TikTok, or I got you on Hover, and you just got me views. That's the best way to handle it. The best way to handle it.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's so true. Like, I remember I posted because I interviewed somebody else about the term Latinx, and I posted it on Reddit or whatever, just like trying to promote it. And like the amount of comments like, that's not real, Latinos don't say that, that's the worst, like, you stop trying to you're trying to Americanize our language. Anglos, it's like,
anglicize, you're anglicizing, fuck.
And to me, like, I go back and forth. Like, sometimes I'll say Latinx, sometimes I just say Latino, Latina. Like, it's I get it. I totally get the concept of like, there's non-binary Latinos and Latinas, so what would you call them? Latinx. Like, it's as simple as that. But people get so heated about it, and like,
they get so triggered. I'm like, I'm not telling you what to identify as. This is just like to let people know that you're fucking open to them, that you're creating a safe and open environment for everybody. Like, I'm not changing you. I'm not changing the language. Calm down. Like,
people get real mad at that. I've never seen like so much just like anger concentrated on one thing. Like, the amount of like pushback that I got on that, like, it was insane. And then to this day, like, nobody's ever actually like described why they don't like it. It kind of just seems like they don't like change, like what you were saying earlier. Like, people are just like so triggered against things changing, or like something that they're used to, like just like them not understanding it completely, because nobody's ever been able to be like, hey, I don't like it for this reason. It's always just been like, you're changing the language, and it's like, language changes.
Language fucking change all the time.
All the time.
It doesn't make sense.
Jeremy
People
says,
get triggered by too much.
it's crazy because in Canada we get the same thing as me being francophone. Going to Quebec, or my mom, who originally was English, got hated on hard when we lived in Quebec. Because we spoke English in Quebec, people looked at you differently. It's that thing about, right? No soy de aquí, no soy de allá. Like,
exactly.
I felt that.
I'm neither from here nor from there.
I felt that.
You lie right in
much.
between. It's
between two worlds.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
tough.
it's called the third space. Yeah.
It's so tough because like you feel like you got to prove yourself. You got to be extra Latino or Latina. You got to be extra American or whatever to prove, depending on which group you're with. And that shit sucks.
Have you seen that clip from the movie Selena?
Which clip? I know the movie.
The clip. Yeah, it's like when the dad is talking to the kids about how, like, you know, no soy de aquí ni de allá, like, you know, you live between both worlds, at third space. You gotta know about like Vicente Fernandez and Thalia and all of these Spanish people, but you also gotta know about like Johnny Cash, and you just gotta be double invested in who you are, because you're playing two roles at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah. No soy de aquí, no soy de allá, no tengo edad ni provenir. Is that the line, Sind3lla? And yeah,
I didn't know that was a whole line.
Grand Piano Man, exactly. You could just be you, fam. It's like, it was more.
Can you though? Like,
for me, like growing up, it was hard because like you're not you yet, right? You're still developing who you are, like growing up. So like you're heavily influenced by the people that you're around and the general attitudes around you. Obviously, when you get older now, like I'm very confident in who I am.
Thank you, Crazy.
Hey, Crazy can't hear, but here to support Sin and my friend of hers. Hey, thank you so much for being here.
So,
welcome. Happy Sunday.
Crazy is actually the CBO of Umbra. Crazy is actually who found me.
Hey, big shout out. That's amazing. That's you found an amazing
I know
streamer.
he's
a great addition.
I know he's currently watching the Halo team compete right now.
Okay.
I see him. He's in the Discord.
Hey, much love to them and good luck to them. I hope they kill it out there. That's actually a song by Facundo Cabral.
Oh, dude, that's right.
Facundo
That is.
Cabral.
I know the song. Yes. That is a song.
You see, like growing up, I don't really know that much Spanish music because I was just around like friends that didn't listen to that, or I only started to like briefly learn bachata, merengue now that I'm with my wife and she teaches me. And even like salsa is fucking hard. Like I don't understand salsa. That shit is too difficult. But like merengue, bachata, my family's Dominican, so like that's like in their blood. So like growing up, if like I wasn't dancing, you know, you would get jokes and like they weren't trying to make fun of you, but I don't know, Latinos and Latinas are like, they don't hold their tongue. They just say whatever they want and like, they don't give a shit. But
I love it. I love it.
I'm learning now, and that's what's important, is to learn whenever you can. Do we love ourselves more in the virtual world and less in the real world? What do you think about that?
I think that's personal. Like what's the word I'm looking for? I think that's depends on the person. For me personally, I don't love myself more in either or. I love both, because like when I'm not online, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm who I've always been up until the point that I became a streamer, and I'm gonna be proud of who I am. I love myself. You gotta love yourself. But do I also love who I see when I look back and look at my VODs and what I do? I fucking love who I am as a content creator as well. So I love both sides.
Hey.
And it's not like being two-faced. It's just two parts to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Create me as a whole. So personally, I don't love one more than the other.
Yeah, and I always say I'm not the same like in a work environment, right? Like I don't speak to my manager the same way I speak to my friends or I speak to my wife. Like
exactly.
And it's not that I'm being two-faced. It's just like I'm not. Yo, what's up, homie? Like I speak to him in a more formal manner.
Let's go.
Yeah. And like on stream, I could scream, I could yell, I could just be whatever. But like, trust that if in society I could go out and just start screaming and like being like, "What's up?" and people weren't freaked out, I would do it too.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be like that amongst the daycare moms. Be like, let's fucking go. Like, no.
You want something? What's the difference between Latino, Latina, and Hispanic? So the way that I learned it was Latino, Latinas is anybody from Latin America, which encompasses South America, North America because of Mexico, and Central America, the Caribbean. And then Hispanic is anybody that speaks Spanish. So like people from Spain are Hispanic, but they're not Latinos or Latinas, and vice versa. Also, I believe, I'm not sure about where Brazil falls in this. Like I know that they're in South America. I'm not sure exactly how it is, Sind3lla. If you could help me with that.
No, they would still be like it is still Latin America.
Brazil are Latinos. Yeah.
It's still Latin America. And whether, you know, you can be like Afro-Latino as well. The Afro-Latino is with roots from Africa, you know, what is it, Argentina? No, yeah,
Has a
Argentina
lot of
is like
Europeans.
has its roots from Italians and whatnot, but it is, hey, Umbra's in the
Umbra,
house.
what's up? Welcome, welcome. Yes, Sind3lla has been killing it, putting on for it's Umbra, right?
Umbra, yeah.
Putting on for real.
So it's like from the Latin word of like shadow, or like that's where it's come from.
Okay, all right. Latinos, people that speak a language coming from Latin. Yeah, I guess that as well. But I guess that would.
But
Italians.
But even if you're
Latin,
like,
right?
just because you learn, yeah, but they're not. No, they're like. No.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. They're not considered
back.
Latinos, but their language does derive from Latin.
Chemistry.
What's up, Chemistry? How you doing? Let's get it straight up.
Chemistry is also from Umbra.
Hey, welcome. That's amazing. What was I gonna say? Has there ever been like a time that you took like, you know, maybe you failed or you got it was like a loss, you would consider it a loss, but you flipped that and you turned that into like a lesson to move forward?
Within like streaming?
Life in general.
Yeah, I think all the time. I think that's how we grow as a person. Can I think of a specific moment within life? No. A moment within gaming content creation, I think it would be having fallen into the trap of like follow for follow, support for support. And that helped me to learn what to look out for, what to avoid, and what to not do within my own community, within my own Discord. And I don't think that the support for support Discord group that I was part of essentially knew what they were doing. I think they genuinely were trying to like grow and help people, but they didn't understand how it wasn't working. And I didn't know either at the beginning. So I think now it helps to identify who and what communities to avoid, to see what it is they're essentially after, what their like, you know, their goal is. So that's like one example.
Yeah, no, that's a good example because I did the same thing when I first started. Like, it was just the easiest way to meet people. I was like, oh, all right, cool. Like, I'll come into your stream, I'll support you, and then you'll come back to mine. And like now, at least I'm not speaking to nobody. At least there's one person here, even if you're only gonna be here for 5 seconds. Like, at least I got to say something to somebody. But then you learn, like, once you realize, like, wow, these people don't actually care about my content. They don't actually enjoy anything I do.
They just care about themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all about what
they
I
just
can
care
offer
about
them.
their number.
And that's definitely important.
So.
What do you think like your long-term goal for streaming is? Like, just continue full-time? Is there like, after you're done being like a student, are you gonna get like a full-time job and continue streaming on the side? Like, what is your long-term goal and like aspirations for this?
Yeah, so like I said, I wanted to work within the gaming industry. I essentially want to work as like a community manager, kind of sort of continue doing what I'm doing, whereas like you have a community that you focus on, listen to, get to know, interact, and connect with them, and sort of take that back and then help promote a game or a game studio to help improve the gaming industry and promote more diversity and women representation altogether. Streaming wise, I would like to continue streaming. I enjoy it way more than I thought I was going to. I've made way more connections than I thought I could or would. So I don't want to drop it. I absolutely love it. So I want to continue doing both. Will I slow down once I get a job? I mean, I think that's natural. It's inevitable. But like I said, I feel like I have a community that would fully understand that. I don't think they would expect more of me in that sense, where like they would be like, oh, how dare you remove one stream day? Like, they'll joke about it, but I think they would genuinely understand that, hey, you know, Sind3lla's doing what she fucking wants to do, and they would root for me.
Hell yeah, that's amazing. That's the beauty of creating like a tight-knit community that, like, despite highs and lows of streaming hours, they'll be there for you. If you decide, hey, you know, I don't like this Twitch platform because they did X and X and X, I'm gonna move over to YouTube or whatever, they'll come with you. And because they're not,
I hope so.
I think they would. I honestly think they would. Just see how many people showed up to this interview. Like, it's a real testament of
it warms
the
my
community.
heart.
Yeah, it really is.
It really does warm my heart.
Support.
And I do want to make partner.
and hey, and there you go. And anything you want to do, you can 100% work towards it. What about the content that you're going to continue to make? Like, I saw you did a Twitch dating show very recently. I think that was like 2 days ago,
Yeah.
right? Do you think you'll do more
that was on
stuff
Friday.
like that as opposed to gaming and like game reactions, like the more just chatting side of this?
Yeah, so at first I wanted to just like sort of focus on indie games and whatnot. And I think I am sort of I'm not moving away from it, but I am adding more. So like the dating game was an opportunity to collab with other content creators, and I would love to be able to bring in more people from the community, whether it just be like interviews, on I don't know. I haven't thought on exactly what, but I would like to be able to bring in more people onto the platform to get to know them better, for the community to get to know them better. And I do want to do a little bit more just chatting. I think the dating game was so much fun. I'm gonna be a contestant of the dating game on Star Guardian Daddy's channel, who was my bachelor on Friday. And whether we make it a thing, a monthly thing, I don't know yet. We have talked and thought about it, but we haven't established anything yet.
Well, any type of content you're going to create, that's awesome. I'm going to definitely always try and be there. I know the time zones are a little bit tough, but I'm always going to be there because, like we said, it's personality. So no matter what you're doing, if you're reacting to games, you're watching YouTube videos, or you're doing like something more highly produced, like a game show, the personality is what really drives it and what makes people want to go to it. So that's why I'm always there. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing, as long as, like, you know, I'm just able to have a good time. Panda said, I volunteer as tribute. And I got to know, what is Clam Slam?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I need to know. There's no way I could end this interview without finding out, what is the Clam Slam?
First off, let me just say thank you so much, Jermish. That was really, really sweet. Okay, so Clam Slam started off as a bit redemption, like a TTS redemption, and I think he's in the chat. Vector, there we go. Vector in the chat donated some bits, and it was like, is the female version of a tea bag called a clam slam or something like that. And I took that clip of my reaction and that I put it on Hover, and it got second place on their top 16 competition. And then from there, the community demanded a shirt. No, they demanded an emote first, and then it turned into merch. So now we have Clam Slammers.
Clam Slammers. Is that what, do you have like a name for your community?
Yeah, La Familia.
La Familia, okay. La Familia, I love it. Clam Slam, that's hilarious. I never thought of that. Is the female version of the
Stop spamming Clam Slams.
And I did see you recently launched merch. That's amazing. For other streamers out there.
Yeah, this is one of them.
Hey, that looks fire. When do you think is like a good time to focus on, like, you know, making merch? Like, at what point in like the streaming career? Like, why did you decide to do it just now as opposed to doing it like maybe earlier on?
I don't think I'm like the right person to say when you should do it. I think if you want to, you should go for it. Personally, I did it so late because I hadn't really considered it at all until other fellow community members started launching their merch, and I was like, okay, maybe this is something I can do. So I started doing a little bit of research of it and found a great website company where you don't have to handle any of the merch, you don't have to do any inventory, they do all the customer service for you, and you really have nothing to lose other than provide something that reflects the community. And if people want to buy, then amazing, I'm thankful. But if they don't, I have no losses.
No, that's a great, yeah, it is personal. I just think that, like, at what point do you focus, I guess, on brand stuff? Like, did you, like, from the beginning focus, like, on a brand? Do you think you have a brand? Like, what would you describe your brand as?
So this was my very first, like, brand thing. It was, when I started streaming, I had the Kraken Kitty headset. And because I'm Mexican, Day of the Dead is my favorite holiday. I mean, I have it here, I have it here.
Amazing.
I have a bunch of skulls everywhere. I wanted to combine those two aspects together of gaming and my being a Latina gamer. And that's why I created this. That was my first logo, and it's the logo that I have up till now. And I wanted that sort of Latin aspect, which is why it's in Spanish. Our community is in Spanish words, la familia. It's not the family, it's la familia. So that is very important within my branding, who I am, my self-identification, and the journey to identifying as a Latina gamer. And it sort of expands from there. The inside jokes and everything else sort of just comes along with the people that are in the community, like Clam Slam. I never thought I would have a fucking Clam Slam t-shirt as merch. Is it my brand? It's not my logo. It's not my personal brand, but it is of the community. So it's two different things.
I love it. I love it. Well, you've been an amazing guest. Thank you so much. Any final words before I let you go?
No, I have no final word. Well, no, I do have a question. Please help me out here. How the hell is it Javi? I saw on your channel it says pronounced like save with the Z. You got XYZ going on.
I love that. It took like 2 hours to ask that, but I've heard you say Javi on your stream, and I've never corrected it because I don't know. I just let people say whatever it is. But so my real name is Xavier, right? It's Xavier. My family pronounces it Xavier. So, but all my life when I was in school, people thought it was Javier, and I would always have to be like, no, it's Xavier. It's with an X or whatever. And then, so I decided to make it just XAVE. So it's just XAVE now. But some people
XAVE.
say
Right.
Savi, and I'm okay with that. Javi is good as well, even though that one's probably the least that people call me. But I have heard people call me Javi before, and I've never corrected them or anything. But XAVE, whatever you want, it's all good.
XAVE. Okay.
Yes.
I know it took 2 hours to get to that.
I love it. That was the way to end the interview.
Perfect.
Please do plug in all your information. Your whole community knows where to find you, but for anybody else out there, definitely drop like all your information. I did have it on an alert, so
You
that
want
was
me
supposed
to?
to. Yeah, just where people can find you, like what you do. You don't even have to type it, like where they can find most of you.
Man.
Oh, hey, there we go.
You sure I can link drop?
Yes, you can.
All
Of
right,
course.
shit.
There you go. What are you mostly on? Where can people like find you most on out of all? Because there's a lot of them.
Twitter.
Twitter. Okay.
Twitter and Discord.
Twitter and Discord. There you go. Sind3lla, it's been an amazing time. I hope you have an amazing rest of the evening.
Thank
and
you.
I hope to catch more from you, and I hope to see more.
Thank you so much for having me. It was absolute pleasure.
Hey, is this your first interview, by the
Thanks.
way?
Live, yeah.
First live interview. Well, you did amazing.
Yeah.
You did fucking amazing. You killed it. It's really just about being yourself and just talking.
Thank you, Jermish. Thank you for the follow, by the way.
Hey, there you go. Awesome. Have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon.